So this is a Bootleg Iceberg Explained Part 2 video. So in this video, I'll be covering layers 4 to 8. However, something that I will be doing differently is instead of going through every single game in each tier, I will be choosing the top 3 games I believe are like the most interesting or like have the most to talk about in each tier, just to like speed up the process. So yeah, I'll be starting off with layer 5 and let's just get straight into it. Cool Spot SpongeBob hack is a SpongeBob Russian hack of the game Cool Spot. Basically, all these Russian hacked versions of games lack originality, and nothing really new is added to them. In this case, there's only one major change, which is that you get to play as SpongeBob instead of Cool Spot. Other than that, the game is pretty much the same. Also, in the starting screen, there's a bunch of Russian text that translates to the story of the game, in which the game mentions that SpongeBob receives a mysterious letter that mentions that SpongeBob's brother needs help. Look, I've been watching SpongeBob for a long time, and like, I used to watch it all the time as a kid, but like, when did he have a brother? Whenever I think of Cool Spot, I instantly think of Darbian, and if you know who Darbian is, you're a real one. Toy Story NES is a bootleg game for the NES released in 1997 by Eli Hao Yang. At the start of the game tells you that it's Andy's birthday and the player must figure out what other toys he will receive. Throughout the game you play as Woody. There's only 5 levels in the entire game, which in the first 2 the whole objective is to find Andy, who is somewhere located downstairs, and then the third mission is where you encounter Buzz Lightyear, and it's actually a fighting stage. After defeating him, the 4th stage lets you take control of one of Andy's race cars, and you have to go through this maze. Apparently the controls for this mission are difficult since the controls are pretty stiff. After completing the 4th mission, you actually have to fight Buzz Lightyear once again. Once defeated, you get presented with this horrible end screen and the game ends like that. Toy Story NES is probably one of the shorter games on this Iceberg list, since you can literally beat the game in 10 minutes. But people still actually like it since it's Toy Story, and we all know like Toy Story is a classic. Feng Yin Dao is a backport of The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening made for the Famicom that was developed by Nice Code. Absolutely shameless, that's all I gotta say about this game. It's basically the same game but with a different character and designs. And I know most of these bootleg games are like rip-offs of other games, but like I'm a big Zelda fan, so like I took this on a personal level. The game is entirely in Chinese, so I couldn't really translate what's being said in the beginning of the game, nor could I find any translation for it. I'm assuming there's nothing really special about the text in the game, so I'm just gonna move on to the next layer. Puckman Pokemon is an arcade game for the Sega system that was developed by Genie in 2000. Similar to the standard Pac-Man game, the game can be played cooperatively with one player controlling Pac-Man and the other one using Pikachu. The main goal of the game is to collect all the pellets for each round. However, something that's noticeably different is the power-ups in the game, such as the Wings power-up, which allows you to move faster. Adding on to that, the player only receives points after collecting all the pellets and when the round's over. And when playing co-op mode, the player with the most pellets gets all the points. After completing a board, the player is shown a picture of a woman, and this happens around 16 times in total. I just thought this was weird because it comes out of nowhere and there's no really mention about it anywhere else in the game, so yeah. Sextris. This sounds exactly what it is. Sextris is a clone of the game Columns created by the Twin Eagle groups for the Super Famicom. Similar to the game Tetris, the goal of the game is to prevent the blocks from stacking up to the top of the screen for as long as possible. However, when you open the game, the audio is a sample of a woman moaning. By the way, I'm not going to be playing the audio for you guys, this is the wrong website, not this website. After clearing the stage, you're shown a picture of a nude woman, which there's 5 of them in total. But yeah, that's pretty much the game. There's no like real creativity or like, it's just weird and obscure in general. But as we go further down the list, you're going to realize that there's worse games. Donkey Kong 5 The Journey of Overtime in Space is a game for the Game Boy Color made by Syntax. The story starts off with explaining about this girl named Tadama, who is Donkey Kong's friend. It changes quickly, however, as she's taken away from the evil natures, and now Donkey Kong is off to save her. Donkey Kong 5 is a remake of the first 5 worlds of Super Mario Bros. With essentially a few graphic changes. There were actually numerous variants of Donkey Kong 5 that were released, such as Harry Boy and the Chamber of Secret and Super Mario Sunshine, both games being basic ROM hacks. Truco 96 is an Argentine virtual game of the Sega Mega Drive released in 1995. From what I could find about this game, the actual card game is named Truco. The actual card game originated in Valencia and is actually popular in most South American countries. Each player is dealt 3 cards from a deck consisting of the numbers 1 to 7, and given figures. So, a jack is worth 10, a queen is worth 11, and a king is worth 12. The game is played until a team or person finishes with 30 points. It gets more technical as you're allowed to do certain tricks, which makes the game more competitive. The only weird thing about this game, and why I believe it was added onto the list, was because of the opponent you're versing. You're not really told who he is, and it's just odd that he's there. Shit MSX is an MSX Pac-Man clone game. This game copied the entirety of Pac-Man, however the only reason why it got attention was the name itself, and Pac-Man's reaction to when he gets hit and when it's game over. I mean, it's funny and all, but that's all what this game offers. Super Mario is an unlicensed Famicom game. Despite its name being related to Super Mario and the player sprite being an edit of Mario, it has no relation with Nintendo's Mario game series. Gameplay wise, you're a man chasing a woman on the screen. At the same time, you're being chased by a dog who's trying to stop you. When you finally catch the woman, she starts to strip and pose for you. As you continue on with the game, your character and the woman will start to lose more clothes. It was rumored that Nintendo shut down the sales of the game almost immediately after its launch, and it's obvious why they would do it. This game just makes them look bad. Laden vs USA is an LCD handheld electronic game supposedly created by the Pan-U gaming electronic company, similar to the game Terrifying 9/11, and if you haven't heard about that game, it's kinda messed up on why it was made, and it was actually shipped to the USA and stuff, so that's even worse. The game is based on the 9/11 attacks, and it features pictures of the wreckage. On the game packaging, it implies that it was made in China, and it advises that people ages 5 and up are allowed to play it. I don't think anyone's gonna play it in general. This game has been banned in 2 stores, one of them being in Brooklyn, New York. I'm not gonna be going over the gameplay because I'm assuming you guys know what's evolved in the gameplay just the way I described it, so I'm just gonna move on. American Crisis was an unreleased game developed by the company Computer and Entertainment. Since the game was never released, there was very little information about it. However, a prototype of it has been found. The title screen features George Bush, Saddam Hussein, and other leaders. There are 2 missions in this game, one being Iran and the other one being Iraq. In the Iraq mission, you are given grenades and a machine gun with the objective being to reach the exit at the top. In the Iran mission, it's basically the same thing, but you're given an unlimited supply of explosives and a knife with the end goal of reaching the exit. All I could find were basic little screenshots of the game, and as mentioned before, there was very little information about it in general. Mario Empalado is a protest video game developed by Pedro Palva. According to him, this game is a hate letter to the video game industry and the stupid gamer pseudo-culture. The only objective of this game is to kill everything to get to the next level. Enemies in this game include Mario, game developers, parents, and gamers. Yeah, this game sucks. There's no real gameplay to it. All you're doing is just shooting around killing people. I mean, the guy who made this game had an actual reasoning and message behind it, as mentioned before. But just the gameplay execution is just not good. Also, the ending is confusing since after you kill all the people, you get tied up by a guy with a crown and then you appear in a small pink room with a roof leak, a computer, bed, and a clock. There's no official meaning behind the ending, but some people have suggested that it could be a metaphor, which states that you're not actually playing video games because someone else is already playing you. Wow, so deep! But yeah, no, this game sucks, and that's the last game on this Iceberg. So that was the end of the Bootleg Iceberg Explained video. At the moment, I'm kind of taking a pause, and I won't be uploading that much Iceberg Explained videos anymore, but I will be continuing to make videos related to this, or just other commentary videos in a way. So if you like those types of videos, please consider subscribing, as I will make those in the near future. But what did you guys think of the video? Do you think there should have been other games mentioned? Comment down below. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of the video. Oh, but also, I left my Discord server link in the description, so if you want to check that out, I'm trying to build a stronger community in the Discord server, and just to talk and get to know you guys better. So if you want to join it, you're always free to join it in the link below. But anyways guys, thanks for watching and have a great one.